Ladies and gents and the rest, today I'm going to show you all the weapons, jewelries, item sets in the game. But before we start, before you understand the importance of those items, I need to show you how the fighting system works in the game. So when you're fighting somebody, you have few shields, they call postures. If you hold block, you see, boom, you lose the shields, and as soon as you lose them all, you're gonna get stunned. See, last shield, boom, you're gonna get stunned right there. And now, yeah, he didn't do anything, but if he hit me, I wouldn't be able to defend myself. See? So that's what happens when you hold block while you're getting hit. Now, there is a... Opa! Now let me show you. I'm going to run away a little bit. Now, this was blocking. Now I'm going to show you parrying. So the difference between parrying and blocking is when you click block right when you're about to get hit. So you literally parry his hit. Watch this. On time. Boom. Boom. This way, as you can see, he gets stunned. He lost his shields. So when you parry the hit, he loses his shields as well. Watch. I'm going to give you a super pooper pro tip how to always parry. See, I couldn't parry the hit. I just blocked. Now, and he hit me. How do you always parry the hits? It's very easy. In order to always parry the hit and not block them, you just spam parry like this. Boom. See? He lost the shields. Boom. Now you can kill him. Like this. Dead. So, it's all about keeping your shields and destroying the opponent's shields, especially when it comes to PvP, right? Because in PvE, everything is scripted and you kind of know what's going to happen. And also, if somebody tries to block your damage, you take the rifle and you shoot him. This damage from the rifle does not, cannot be blocked or parried. Oh yeah, there you go. So there's crocodile. Watch. It does a lot of damage, especially, well, I'm set up for sharpshooting. So, as you can see, the rifles and the guns, they have a little delay before they shoot. So you click shoot, boom, and only then you shoot with a little delay. So you can dodge that like this, especially when you're PvPing, and the bullet is going to be wasted. And it takes forever to load it. And of course, I don't have bullets anymore because I'm making the video, right? So that is pretty much how it works. Now let me show you the difference between rifles and the guns. Just so you know that rifle does way more damage than a pistol. So, but in order to shoot with a rifle, you have to hide your sword and take out the rifle. You cannot hold both at the same time. In the case of gun, you can. And here's why it's important. I'm going to use the sword that every attack, every time it hits, it adds a stack, it gives me a stack, and those stacks buff range damage. So when I use a gun or a rifle after that, the stacks will be taken, but I'm going to get extra damage on my range hit. So here's what it looks like. Let's say I'm going to hit this. You see this on the green side, it takes take aim, and I have two stacks. If I want to use my rifle, I'm going to take it out, and as you can see, the stacks disappear. Because in order to... My God, poor bird. In order to use this weapon, to get value from the stacks, you need to use a gun. Because if you use a gun, let me switch it, boom. Now I have a sword, and at the same time, I'm holding the gun. All right? So now, if I get those stacks now... Where's the pig? Okay, so we killed one. Now I have 3 stacks of this take aim. I can use those on my gun and get a value easily, okay? Now let's take a look at the items. All right, item sets. I'm going to start with the one that I'm wearing right now. So this is fully upgraded, but it's not important right now. This is the item set for range DPS. It consists of 5 pieces, and every piece buffs your range damage by 4%, as you can see. And there is a 420 power, so this is an item power. We don't know how it synergizes with the numbers, with the actual damage of your weapon and stuff like that. We don't know yet. The devs will tell us in the future. So just so you know, this set buffs my range damage by 20%, right? 4% per piece. And this is what it looks like. Now this is the melee set. Each piece reduces the damage, melee damage by 3%. Right now, 5 pieces give you, 15% damage reduction from melee attacks. And this is what it looks like. And the third set, I'm not going to craft it because it looks almost the same, so there's no point. Every piece of the set gives you extra 5% damage to animals, which means you're going to get 25% extra damage to animals if you craft the entire set. That's pretty much all we have. Every weapon in the game, range or melee, has the 2 types of traits. The first type of trait, it's like a general trait. It's, for example, look at this saber. It says, saber, parrying does not drain your posture. This, like every saber, will have this trait, okay? If it's a saber, parrying will not drain your posture. And then the next one, posture has been increased by 1. This is the trait only for this particular model, right? Because other sabers will have different powers. And that applies to guns, to rifles, to maces, rapiers, and stuff like that. We're going to start with the most bullshit one, this fish. So it doesn't matter what it does, because it barely does any damage. And this is what it... where is it? This is what it looks like. Let's kill somebody with this. God, there's so many of them. So the way it works here, you just hit things with fish. Obviously it's garbage, but I have to show it to you because it's a weapon, right? My God. See how bad it is? As you can see, it's complete garbage. So the way you get this fish is you go to your discoveries. You need to catch every single fish in the game, and you will get this as a reward. And yeah, it's just... We're going to start with a head spinner. It's a mace. So the pluses are this mace does highest damage per hit in the game. And here are its traits and abilities. So because it's mace, club, it says cannot parry enemy attacks. So what it means is if your attacks cannot be parried, they can only be blocked. So remember when I showed you how to remove the enemy's shields? It's impossible. Your mace attacks cannot be... By the way, it looks super ugly. Your mace attacks cannot be parried. So here's the Drowner. We're going to use him as a target dummy. So what else does it have? It also has damage to stunned enemies increased by 50%. So the enemies get stunned when they run out of their little shields. This is the moment when they're going to be stunned. After that, they're going to regenerate the shields and they're going to keep fighting, okay? So this is the moment where you have to, where your mace will shine. And heavy strikes break through block. Heavy strike is you click the scroll on the mouse. It looks like this. Every weapon has a different heavy strike. But heavy strike with the mace like that, boom, cannot be blocked. So you're gonna hit through the shields. He loses up. And the main problem with this weapon, from what I see, is it's super slow. The way you survive in this game is that you have to move, you have to block, you have to, hit. Like you have very, very little time to hit somebody. That's why I don't like to use this mace. For me, there are better options. We'll talk about those. But anyway, this is the weapon number 1. Our next weapon is Rapier of 1,000 Cuts. So rapiers, just like any other weapons, have unique rapier traits, right? And that trait is parrying deals major damage to the enemy's posture. What does that mean? That means that when you parry an attack and you lose your shield, the opponent doesn't lose one shield, the opponent loses more shields than you do if you parry the attack. Let's take a look. You know what? Before we take a look, we will go through the other, through the unique trait of this particular model. Dealing damage applies bleeding on enemies, can stack up to 5 times. Each time the status effect is applied, it deals 40 damage per second. Okay, so pretty much it applies bleed. By the way, if you look at the weapon damage, it's 90 pierce, which means it's super low damage. 90 damage, it's almost nothing. So your main power of this rapier is bleeding. So you apply bleeding, you stack bleeds, and then the opponent dies. This is an S tier weapon for one of the bosses for the bosses from one of the biomes, assuming you want to do it on a higher difficulty. So this is a great weapon, but very situational. Let's take a look at how the rapier trait works first. Watch. Bam. You didn't even lose one. You lost like half of the shield, and he lost 2. So that is the unique trait of rapiers. Now let's. Well, obviously you just saw it, but just in case. Okay, there we go. This is perfect. So we attack this guy. See, we have one stack of bleed. Bam, 2 stacks of bleed, and then it goes up to 5. 3, he's almost dead. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, this is a really good weapon for you, because if you're really bad at melee fighting, okay? That's how it works. Next weapon is Decimating Rapier. Light attacks apply the fragility effect to the target up to 8 times. So light attack is just this attack, just a normal attack, left click. All right? And heavy strikes consume all stacks of fragility, deal bonus damage. All right? So this is the light strike, and when you click the scroll on the mouse, this is a heavy strike. Boom, boom. See? So the way it works is let's find the victim. Okay, here's how it works. When you hit these things, you hit and you apply the stack. You can apply up to 8 stacks, and then you go like this, and you're gonna get extra. It will do extra damage, but yeah, that's pretty much the ability of this rapier, this thing. There's also one more rapier. It's called Dueling Rapier. Its unique trait is increases bonus from precision by 50%. I don't really understand what it is. I tested it. I couldn't see any extra effects that it does, any extra damage. The only thing that I know, it has the highest rapier weapon damage out of all 3 rapiers. So this is the one. It has 310 pierce. This is the one that I just used. It's 200, and the bleed one, the bleeding one is like 90%, 90 damage. So it's the highest damage, but I don't know what it does, so I'm sorry. But we have this weapon here, okay? Now the sabers. The sabers trait is parry doesn't drain your posture. Yeah, just this one trait makes you want to take saber and use sabers all the time. Like I said, the saber trait is parry doesn't drain your posture. I'll show you what it looks like. And the unique trait is posture has been increased by 1. So you're going to have more shields than you usually do. So let's take a look at the saber's general trait. Parry doesn't drain postures. So as you can see, I don't lose shields if I parry an attack. He does, but I don't. You can do it forever. See? Forever. And the unique trait, like I said, usually you have 4 shields. Now you have, oh my god. Okay, there we go. Now you have 5. It's really hard to show, but I hope you saw it. Okay. So our next sword is Boarding Saber. I think I showed it already, but I'm gonna demonstrate it now again. Again, the saber trait is the same. Dealing damage applies take aim on the hero, so you get stacks. Not you don't apply stacks on the target. Can stack up to 9 times. Each stack gives you extra damage on the range attack. If you're not using gun, if you use a rifle, the stacks will not work. So here's how it works. Let's hit a boar. Hit the boar. We have 3 stacks. Op. Sorry. So we hit the boar, and now we can shoot this pig. like this. And all the stacks are consumed, as you can see. That is the power of this saber. And this is probably the one that everybody will want to use. Saber, again, same general trait, but the unique trait is deal 20 to 100 damage, applies infection. Once you have 5 stacks of infection, you're gonna have you can use your special attack. Okay, so when you deal a damage, I'll show you. That gives you, you just need to deal damage. You're gonna get, you see, you get the infections. 5 stacks already. We need a little bit more. Okay, here's a pig. So now, as you can see, the buff is green. Now I am able to use my superpower, okay? So we get this button, and as long as you don't change your weapon, this button is not going to go away, so it's not time-based. You can just walk with that and use it whenever you want. You can gather a lot of enemies together, like, well, I only have one here, this bird. Watch, I'm going to kill everybody. Okay, one sec. Like this. Zhook! It does a lot of damage to anything in front. That's how it works. And those are all the melee weapons we have. Let's take a look at the ranged weapons now. Well, some of these weapons don't need to be demonstrated. Like, for example, this rifle, as you can see, there is no rifle trait. It just does a lot of damage. And it heals for 40% of the damage inflicted. Very simple. You don't need to demonstrate it, right? This one is extremely accurate if the shooter stands still. If you stand still, your spreading effect will be less, pretty much. And sometimes there are bullets like that. We'll get to the bullets and we'll talk about it. So yeah, the reason why I'm using this one all the time is because it has the highest weapon damage, and I don't care about those other effects. I will explain to you when we start looking at the bullets. This pistol, it does 120 blunt damage. And its unique trait is a second shot fired immediately after the first one deals 75% extra damage. I forgot to mention that pistols have 2 bullets, not 1. So, 1, 2. So the second shot hits for 75% extra damage. Alright? That's the ability. And this last one doesn't have any special powers. It's pretty much what you start the game with. All right. So now let's take a look at the bullets for these weapons. Man, bullets, it's just... Okay, this is the very first type of bullets. It's just nothing special. Super bad, super cheap stone bullets. I mean, there's no abilities. Right? Bad ballistics, that's the ability. Iron bullets boost projectile damage by 25%. So it pretty much adds 25% to your damage. So it's already good, but it costs iron bar. Like iron bar, it's a precious thing. Bone shots. Oh, I like these ones actually. So here's a trick that you can not the trick. Here's a synergy. So if you use this bullets, it says the shot creates 6 pellets, each dealing 30% damage. So if all of them hit the target, you're gonna get 180% damage, right? So it's almost double damage. Damage decreases over distance, right? It's like it works as a shotgun. So if you use a gun and you use these bullets with the gun, usually you use it in like a melee range, and you have a high chance of hitting the enemy with all 6 pieces, right? However, if you use this, where is it? Where's my rifle? If you use this rifle, I tried to use it with this rifle that says extremely accurate when the shooter stands still. If you use these bullets with this rifle, I mean, the distance will be significantly increased, and you will do a lot of damage while not having to be in the melee range. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, these are really great bullets. And the last one, I mean, this is absolutely disgusting. Like this bullet, look what it does. Change the damage type to pierce. I don't know what it's for, because like I usually buff range damage anyway. I don't buff range damage and pierce damage, which is melee damage. So maybe we'll figure it out later. And boost standard shot damage by 10% and critical hit damage by 20%. The craziest thing about this bullet is that when you craft these bullets, you get when you craft a bullet, you get 5 bullets right away. This you get 1 bullet for wasting this enchanted ingot, and this, guys, it's the end game metal. These are end game ingredients, extremely expensive to make, and you get 1 freaking bullet for using this 1 ingot. All right, so it's super bad. Now, based on my experience, I was fully geared for range attack. I once met a player in a PvP zone. He was trying to escape. I shot him. I one-shot him using this stone bullet. So all of that is definitely an overkill. Okay, if we're talking about PvP. In PvE, I didn't use it. I don't really like the way it works. I want to be able to constantly hit, not like once per few seconds. And also, I forgot to mention. So if you use the bullet, for example, if you shoot, bam, and then you switch to your sword, it recharges automatically, very slowly. It doesn't show it, but it recharges. So in some time, you will be able to take your rifle. Ah, there we go. Okay, it was already recharged. So that is what I also forgot to mention. There's also one more weapon that I couldn't show you in my armory because I bought it on Tortuga. This rifle, it says reduced spread when firing in motion. I didn't really notice that, but it also says can perform a special attack. So the special attack is F. It looks like this. That's pretty much it. It's not a good weapon. I tried it. It's not good. It's very. The damage is super low. It's what 195. The one that I'm using is 270. So I mean, the difference is huge, right? Before we continue, let's take a look at the stats. I forgot to mention them. These are not weapons, but it's better for your understanding. So strength. Each point of strength increases crude damage by 1.5%. Crude damage, I believe it's for the mace. Yes, mace is a crude damage. So agility is for slash damage. Slash damage is sabers. Then precision is for rapiers, right there. Mobility is for your stamina. You know, your stamina is consumed when you gets consumed when you're running or when you're attacking. Vitality is for the HP, and the fortitude is for armor and damage reduction, right? So yeah, now let's take a look at the jewelries, at all the jewelries that we have. So gain health upon killing an enemy. I never used it. Cooldown is 20 seconds, and I never, like, as soon as I got the ingredients for amulets, I crafted something else. I mean, you don't want to waste this stuff on this amulet. And next one is boost melee damage when infected. Never been infected. I have no idea what infected means. Never used it. Dealing damage can restore a posture bar section. Posture recovery chance 20%. This one is actually really good. I used it for the second boss on the highest difficulty, I believe. So the way it works is we'll get to this later. Temporarily increase damage after dashing. So when you dash, shoo, you get 20% extra damage for 3 seconds. All right. And now the rings. Boost melee damage by 10%. Very simple. You will need that ring to kill the frog on the highest difficulty because you need a lot of damage. Infection resistance 50%. No idea what infection is. Never been infected. Deleted the entire game. No idea. Increase passive reload speed by 30%. This is what I told you about. So when you shoot and you go back to your sword and you keep fighting, again, it reloads your weapon 30% faster. So that's what it's for. Posture has been increased by 1. Do you remember I told you about the saber that increases your posture? Right there. Boom. So you can combine it with the ring, and you will have 2 more posters. You're going to have 6 shields instead of 4. So it's huge. You're going to be unbeatable. Next, reduce stamina consumption. This is for farming. I mean, it's just, yeah, obviously. So, So the synergy here, remember the ring with the posture, the saber with extra posture, and then you take this thing. Dealing damage can restore a posture bar. If you take all three, I mean, I don't know what. Unless you have a ranged weapon, like your opponent has a ranged weapon, it will be almost impossible to kill you because you're gonna have 6 postures. You restore postures on hit. I mean, good luck killing you, right? Okay, insignias increases strength of the wearer by 1, and this is like for pretty much for each stat. If you take all of those, upgrade them to full, you know there's like a lot of upgrades. You see like 10 or something like that, and then you can craft this. You can take all of them, add silver and gold. Those have to be those should have like maximum upgrades. You combine them all and you craft this thing. It gives you a plus 10 to each stat. That is pretty much all we have. I probably forgot something, but it's gonna be too late. I will see it when the video is released, right? Yeah, that's all.